Reddit, what's the funniest thing that a random stranger said to you that made you die laughing inside? Okay, the laughter was not entirely inside, but years ago on the subway in New York, a crazy dude walks on the train and screams at everyone, "You're all going to hell," and then steps off as the doors close. Total silence as the weirdness of the moment settles in. Then, without missing a beat, guy across from me goes, "Shit, I thought this train was going to Harlem." Entire subway car of cynical New Yorkers bursts out laughing. I must have been about 10 or 11. I sat down on a bench next to an old guy to sort my shoe out. I took my shoe off and he just turns to me and says, "Are they golfing socks?" I look at him with a completely blank look on my face thinking, what the fuck? As I looked away he just said, "There's a hole in one." I work in retail and I'm not sure why, but this had me dying for a while. I still laugh when I think about it. Me, "How you doing today, sir?" Customer, "Yep." And he went on his way. Met a guy while camping a few years ago. He told us, matter-of-factly, that he was a redneck hippie back in the 60s. He was there for the sex and the drugs, but not so much that love and peace shit. We still crack up about that. An old man on the street with a big jack-o'-lantern grin on his face and two chihuahuas under each arm loudly proclaiming to no one in particular, "I used to carry grenades. Now I carry dogs." Worked at a smoke shop that sold electronic cigarettes years ago. A customer came in complaining that the new flavor made her pee smell funny. I couldn't keep a straight face when I said I wasn't sure if that was related. Then she says, "Oh, well it could be an STD or something I guess. Thanks," and walked out. Just the other day checking out at the Cracker Barrel, the older gentleman ringing my wife up accidentally said, with all confidence, "Have a thank you." I used to be a smoker. One time a scruffy looking man asked me for a light. I told him I only had matches. It was very windy. He said, "That's okay, there's a trick to it. You light the match and then suck down real hard. You get a mouthful of sulfur that way, but you gotta have a trick when you're going 30 miles an hour on top of a tank." I was at a 50th wedding anniversary party and there were lots of elderly people in attendance. An old man was standing next to me and said, "It looks like a fucking graveyard in here." I literally spit my beer out. We were outdoors. The kicker was the guy was close to the same age as everyone else. Watched a guy walking to class at my college years ago saying, "Get the fuck out of my way," to a pigeon standing in his path. The pigeon quickly waddled off to the side. Someone called me, said "piece of pizza" in a Mexican accent and hung up. Years ago when queuing up for movie tickets with my family, the attendant asked the ages of our 4 kids to see if they could all get children price tickets. I announced their ages, 7, 9, 11, and 13. Without missing a beat, the stranger behind us declared, "That's an odd group." In college, this one girl in the front of the room chimes in on something and mentioned that her eyes change color during the summer every year from blue to green. This black dude in the back of the class whispers to his friend, "Yeah bitch," and I turn white in winter. I had to remove myself immediately before I made a scene from laughing so hard. I was rollerblading down a hill too fast and landed on my ass. Painful, sure, but not excruciatingly so. A old man walked by and said in the most jolly voice, "Is your behind okay, young lady?" I was shaking of laughter. My behind was okay, yes. When I was around 10, my dad took my brother and me to a Sox game at Fenway. We get to the park and I was putting mustard on a hot dog from one of those mustard box push down nozzle things. This random guy next to me goes, "Yeah buddy, lather that bitch up." 10-year-old me thought it was about the funniest thing I'd ever heard, and I still chuckle when I think about it as an adult.